everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have Laursimming here, so thank you so much for coming here today.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
Oh my gosh, the pleasure is all mine. Laura, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your simming history?
Okay, so I'm from the UK, from England, just outside of London, and I've been playing The Sims since I want to say 2002, maybe. So I'm an OG. I'm that old. I
I've been
remember the
playing since
original The Sims.
I've been playing since '03, kiddo. We're we're there. I gotcha.
Oh God, I've seen it all by this point. So I only sort of got into the online community because of COVID, pretty much. Having been, told to stay at home and not go to work, I was really bored, and I don't even know how I came across like Simstagram, but something in me told me to see if there's any Sims content on Instagram, and oh my God, it just like blew my mind.
Right?
So
Isn't this
just
Instagram community just so amazing and so talented?
oh my God, like it's got something for everyone, which is just insane and awesome at the same time. And I mean, I've always been like watching YouTube Sims content since like The Sims 3. So I knew that there was that sort of online community, but had no idea that there was anything else. And so, yeah, I decided to start putting my content on Instagram, and that sort of progressed to like Twitter, and then I started YouTube, and it's been interesting to say the least.
No, that's awesome. A lot of people I've talked to have said the same thing. Like they really got kind of back into it and like started posting themselves during COVID because like we were bored, right? Like this was like the first time for a lot of us in our professional careers that we were sent home.
Yeah,
And like,
exactly.
what were we gonna do? Like some of us
Exactly.
made bread, some of us watched Brad Mondo videos, and some of us played The Sims. And I really got back into it. I'm an OG simmer. I started playing in '03. I played Sims 1 for my little heart's full of it. Sims 2 I played. Sims 3 I didn't play because I was in college/university at that time. So I just couldn't dedicate my life to it. And I honestly didn't really get back into The Sims until I was watching Kelsey and Peacha K's 100 Baby Challenge, because I'm a huge BuzzFeed girl, which if you like look at me, like I'm like the demographic for BuzzFeed. So I saw that, and I was at home when the first episode came out, and I was not in the best place. I had a really bad job. I wasn't kind of really sure like what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. You know, that like midlife crisis that like everybody has.
Yes, I know it very well. Yeah.
But that was around the same time the 100 Baby came out, and I watched it, and then I got my best friend into it, and like every Saturday at 11, like we would stop and watch it, and we watched it all the way through to the very, very end.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, well, I'm gonna buy The Sims when it's on sale for like $5 in Origins. And then I did, and then I got her to play it as well. And then we just started buying all the expansions. And then when COVID hit, we would do like Sims challenges of being like, we would make like a resort or $1 million tiny home, or like a house without it being a house, kind of like an idea. And then everybody else got back with the rest of their lives. And I was like, I'm going to start a Simstagram page. I'm going to show off my work. And I remember I used to think my shit was like the bee's knees in the very beginning. Looking back at it now, it's so cringe. And
Oh God,
like,
same.
I look at it, I'm like, it's like the grids there, the little circles there for the, for the first perspective when you're able to go in. Because that's how I thought I was able to like actually be able to zoom everything. You can see it. Yeah, I look back like, oh, that's so cringy. That's so awkward.
For me, it's like the plants coming through the wall,
Oh yeah, that still happens. I just have Photoshop now, so I just put that into Photoshop. Go, gone.
Oh, great.
Oh my gosh, so that's awesome. So since you're an OG Sims player, I like to ask this to people who are also OG Sim players. If Origins right now, Origin, Steam, Xbox wherever you play The Sims, had the ability to have The Sims and The Sims 2 to buy today, would you go and do it?
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Because I think it's nostalgic. The only thing I'm concerned of is if I ended up doing this, I think my memory of it being so amazing by playing it as an adult and like 20 years, 22 years later, being like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this was like awful.
That's my fear too. I kind of like, I'm a complete graphic snob. Like I can't play games that don't look graphically pleasing to me.
Yep.
And I really worry about going back and playing The Sims 1 and just looking at all the really awful pixels and being like, what is this?
Right?
How did I play this for so long?
But for 22 years ago, you're like, this is revolutionary.
Oh my God, yeah.
For the kids who don't know what 22 years ago was like for internet, like you had like AOL dial-up and stuff. Like you got to get free. I remember we used to get like discs in like cereal boxes being like 1,000 free minutes of internet. And it like,
yeah,
don't know that shit these days.
My God, I remember like having to ask my mom if I could unplug the telephone and put in the Wi-Fi while she was watching her soap operas so that no one would be calling at that point because they knew they should be watching TV. So I get like half an hour in the evening of like pure adrenaline on Wi-Fi. Like, before Wi-Fi, like plugging the cable into the telephone thing. Oh my God. To think that we had to deal with that is just insane.
Right? Or you buy like The Sims 2 and you put it into your like 1995 Windows computer and the computer just spits it back out being like, nope.
I remember because a bit different from you, I played Sims 1 with one of my school friends because she had all the DLC for it. I didn't have it.
Yeah.
But I had like The Sims 2 and I had The Sims 3 and then obviously had The Sims 4. But I remember like even with The Sims 3, if that game had an issue and you had to like reinstall it would take literally 24 hours to like re-download and install all of the packs. It was absolutely insane. I remember like having to set myself like a time period where I was going to reinstall the game because I'd literally have to spend 24 hours with my dodgy Wi-Fi to get the packs re-downloaded. Oh God, it's just an absolute nightmare. And then when the game fired up, the Sims 3 just graphically is horrific.
Oh yeah.
Sims 2 is way better than The Sims 3.
I agree with that, but even Sims 2, looking back on it, like I remember when they came out, I was like, this is like next level. Like this is so good. Like they have eyeballs and like a mouth. Like I remember being obsessed with the eyes. Because I remember being like, look at them. Because like compared to Sims 1, you couldn't change the face, right?
Yeah.
So in Sims 2, you could get a little bit more like creative. And I remember the first time going into cast and creating a sim in the Sims 2, and I was like, oh, look, I can change their clothing. Yeah. I can do whatever.
You can add like tops and bottoms, and they were separated. Like what? And even like the gameplay itself, being able to move the camera down into the house and be able to like pan around the house. It was like, it was revolutionary for sure.
Right. And now looking back at it, you'd be like, oh, this is so cringy. Like, look at these graphics. Like here, how I got reintroduced back into The Sims 2. So I used to do a lot of machinimas throughout the pandemic. So I did a lot of voice acting. And a lot of people use Sims 2 for machinimas because it has the best camera. And I would get these characters, I'd look at them and being like, fucking iteration is this? Who the fuck am I playing? Why do they have a shadow mask on? And they'd be like, oh, it's Sims 2. And I'd be like, oh God. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean the gameplay in Sims 2, like the Sims 4 could never. I mean, I know that's, everyone says that, but it's so true. It is so true. The level of detail in that game is just next to nothing.
Oh yeah. But since you played Sims 2, Sims 3, and Sims 4, I have to ask, what's your favorite rendition of The Sims?
Oh, I'm gonna have to say it's probably I'm gonna say it's probably The Sims Making Magic. One of the original expansion packs.
Yes.
And
That was the correct answer to any answer
yeah.
when it comes to The Sims. I would say that. So Making Magic. I also really love Vacations and Superstar,
Oh,
right?
yes. Yeah, Superstar was good. But then I also really like the nightlife one for Sims 2. That was really fun as well.
Mhm. I was not allowed to have that pack because I
Why
know.
not?
So I whatever like The Sims, my parents were in the midst of a very nasty divorce. So they were just like, you do well, whatever my child wants, my child gets kind of vibe. So I would play The Sims and they didn't realize like vibrating beds. I mean, I didn't realize the bed
Yeah.
vibrated till like 2 weeks ago, or like the dance cages
Yeah.
and like woo-hooing and stuff. So like they were like eh, to that one because they're like they could
Well,
have
the cutscenes of The Sims 2 was so fucking like graphic.
like going back now looking at it, I could like be like, oh, it's fine. I mean, it's no worse than Family Guy, but like, yeah, no, I was just like, I want to play that. No, I would totally go back and like I would buy it. I would instantaneously. Now, my hopes and wish and desires is if one day EA can release a kit of Sims nostalgic stuff. So talking like the bed, the fish tank, stuff from Sims 2 and putting it in Sims 4, I would pre-order that shit now.
That would be so cool. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Right?
100%.
For
Yeah,
us
definitely.
for us who've been playing it for I've been
A
playing
long
Sims
time.
now for 2/3 of my life.
Yeah,
That is a
same.
long time.
Same.
Right? So I think they need to start doing some stuff for us now, which actually leads me to our next topic, which the Sim Summit that happened this week. Now, a lot of things were announced. I definitely want to hear your thoughts about the Sim Summit before we dive in.
Okay, so I found it just so weird. I don't know what I expected when they announced they were doing this behind the Sims Summit.
Mhm.
I Part of me was like, is it going to be a live stream of them playing the game, or are they going to announce something? I really didn't know what to expect. But what happened, like, was just so weird to me. It just felt like that could have been a video that was released on YouTube. It didn't have to be this big grand
Mhm.
countdown thing. But then having said that, I liked the throwbacks. I liked that they were in a way like thanking us for our continued support, because I mean at the end of the day, like, we spend a lot of money on this franchise, you know,
Mhm.
like I have paid for all of my packs myself and
Mhm.
it's not cheap, you know. um so I think like the fact that they were definitely coming out with the right words, I think, was nice to see. um I did feel that the host was a bit cringy, and
Just a
when
bit.
just a bit,
Just a bit.
and when she said literally, I almost lost my shit.
I got you. I got you. Like there were parts like when I held the podcast this week, we didn't even talk about the dance numbers and the Kelsey on the street segment. Like we just skipped over that and we pretended like it didn't exist because it didn't really need to
To be
be
there,
there.
100%.
Like were you like I feel like I was very happy, which we'll talk about in a couple of minutes, about like what was announced. But I
Mm.
feel like they were like, oh, here's things. Oh, something shiny. Something shiny. Watch
Yeah.
for something shiny.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna talk. We're gonna show you a quick drawing of something coming. Oh, look, shiny. Right. So like I feel like
Yeah.
that was kind of like the vibe of it. I mean, I wasn't like, wow, oh my
Yeah.
God. I
Yeah.
was just kind of, well, I've explained the story of how I was watching it, was during a lunch and learn, trying to read it, getting every other couple words from the subtitles on YouTube. Also, EA team, you put those subtitles on there, make it better, because I had someone comment to me after listening to the podcast and saying, well, I'm hearing impaired, so this is how I watch my stuff, and it's the same subtitles. So
I was gonna say, like, surely if they're such big on inclusivity, like that's the least they can do, especially because that was pre-recorded. Like someone
yes.
could have gone in and listened to everything and written the captions for all the text and the speeches and everything, and it would have been absolutely fine to do. That's ridiculous. That's lazy on EA's part.
Oh, I totally agree. Except that I was like, what is going on? Why am I not getting every, because you could see the like you could see her talking,
Yeah,
and then it would get like coming pack, and I'm like, coming pack, what? Like I can keep seeing her talk, and it's like soon, and I'm like, what is
that's
coming
not what
soon?
she said.
Well, that's what the subtitles said. Sitting there because like the whole time so this is like everyone's trying to grab my attention. I'm like, I'm waiting for The Sims 5. Like, everyone stop talking to me. I'm trying to pay attention to The Sims 5. But anyways, so the Sims Summit, it was something to say the least, but it reassured a lot of what Sims 4 players are currently feeling, that the Sims 4 is currently not going anywhere anytime soon, which I'm very happy about. Are you very happy about that?
Yeah, 100%. My biggest fear was that they were going to literally, like rats leaving a sinking ship. That's the kind of analogy I was feeling. I was really worried that they were going to leave us to drown and then go on this brand new cruise that they would just like set up, but there's a hole in the bottom of the cruise, as well, because there's no way that the Sims 5 can be ready at this point, but I'm glad that it literally looks like they've only just sort of started looking at the next generation of games, and I'm very happy that there's still going to be content coming out with The Sims 4, because in my mind they have the chance to continue to improve it and fix it, and I do think that the announcement to make the base game free, like if I was someone who'd never played The Sims, never heard of it, and I watched that live stream, I would have been like, this is amazing, oh my god, like I cannot wait to get my hands on this free game and start playing it. But the fact is 95% of the people watching are not that person, and I think that's the problem. Like the Sims team don't generally think of the players that they have already in their fold. They're always looking to grab the next person, so it kind of makes us feel like we're the forgotten bunch.
Oh, I totally agree. So in my real life day to day, when I'm not living out my dreams of being a sim star, I work in corporate marketing. And as soon as I saw the base game coming free, I'm like, oh, this is just EA trying to get the next generation of people to play, which I'm excited to have more simmers in this community. Here's the problem I have with the base game being free. One, you have to spend, well, for us, it's 60 Canadian dollars to add dogs to the game.
Yeah.
It's 60 Canadian dollars to add rain to the game. That is $120 to add 2 features that should have always just been in the base game. So it's just basically like, let's get as much money as possible, which I'm very concerned of with Sims 5. I've talked very openly about my fears of more microtransactions like they did with Sims 3 with having the store. I'm also very concerned that I could see Sims 5 having a subscription-based service, not for the kids and the packs, to have an online version of it. I'm very concerned if that's the path that they are taking. With the Sims 5, I even like gun to my head right now, I'm not going to buy Sims 5 the first year it comes out. I still have a lot of time with Sims 4 left, and I want to have expansions. I was like you said, you bought most of the pack, like all your packs. I bought most of the packs myself, besides 2 or 3 which were birthday or Christmas presents, or like I got I won a vanilla Visa card at work and I put it towards Sim stuff. So we've easily spent $500 to $700
Oh,
on
easy.
this game.
Yeah,
What
easily.
other game franchise do you spend that much money on? Because you would look at
None.
them being like, you'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, I
That's
can't think
so
of any other franchise that people spend that much money on. I even like with um like Fortnite where you can get
mhm.
skins or so, like that you don't spend that much money
No,
by any stretch of the imagination. So
no,
it's insane to me that we we are the most loyal fan base of any games I
oh,
personally believe
absolutely. Because
exists.
even if we know the pack is going to be broken, like we know that.
We'll still
Like
buy it.
we'll still buy. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll buy it like the
I
same
still
week.
bought my wedding stories even though I knew it was broke. You know?
See, for my wedding stories, which if I told you that came out this year, would you believe me? Because I feel like that came out like 2 years ago at this point. From the
Oh my
amount of
God.
content that they've put out this year, they are rushing through content. They're going tit for tat with Marvel at this point, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. Slow down. We don't ask for 25 kits a year. Okay.
No,
No
not at
one's
all.
asking for that. Now, I understand they're for console players who can't have CC. I understand that completely.
Mm.
For us console play or sorry, our us PC players that have the ability to have CC, we don't care. We don't
Yeah,
care about kits. Now there's a
yeah,
couple good kits. Not gonna lie, there are a couple. But like take a look at like the first kits that came, like busting a dust, getting the vacuum kit. And I understand it's for the realism in the game. I would never have bought that kit. Still don't own that kit because I don't vacuum in real life. Why the hell would I get my sim to vacuum? That just sounds awful. But I just kind of feel like EA is just so interested on getting the next buck that they don't care about fixing what's already broken. Like example, like my wedding stars. Like I only bought that pack because I saw the Simmers community article about all the wedding cakes.
mm,
And I went to school to be called like I have my seal. I am a chef. I want to own my own bakery one day, and I want to specifically focus on wedding cakes. So I saw that my little Sims heart exploded with the excited possibilities that I would be able to take these cakes and debugged and be able to make my own beautiful bakery.
yeah,
That ruined my soul the moment I realized that you couldn't do that. The cakes are in debug, but they can't make them pretty. You have
yeah.
to physically make them.
And then they spoil, and then you don't get good pictures. And yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I feel your pain.
I was sitting there and I was like I didn't get Werewolf for high school till like August. Like
Yeah, I didn't get them immediately either.
I just wanted to let the bug sort itself out.
Yeah,
But
which is sad because I miss feeling excited about content coming out. Like I miss that
mhm.
rush to want to go and buy things the second they get announced and to pre-order stuff. But I just know there's no point. I can get
I
it for cheaper somewhere else. And if I wait a bit longer, then there's going to be mods that come out to fix and make things better. I'll just download that and then, happy days.
or wait till it goes on sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm a huge believer. I'd wait till it go on sale. The only reason I didn't wait till high school went on sale is because as a storyteller, I needed it for my story. I wanted and then I was so disappointed with the world because why the fuck is the football field not its own lot? Number one,
I know.
I
Oh my
was
goodness.
I was
Yes.
fucking livid because because in Rose Chronicles there are football players, right? So I downloaded a lot and I kind of fixed it up, made it more like how I would see it. And like you can't actually sit there because it's stairs. It's literally just
Mhm.
giant rolls of stairs coming down. So I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, like I'll write it in that they're at the football field and there's a football game. Not only is there not football, they don't even have football outfits. There
No.
is no, they have
Yeah.
gym outfits.
Yeah.
Football. And the fact that cheerleaders can cheer on the stupid fucking patch of dirt. And I was mad, and I'm still mad because like I don't even because I was like, oh my god, like I'll move everything over to that world, and
Yeah.
I'll use the high school because like the high school itself was atrocious.
Oh God,
I
it's so
was
bad.
so fucking embarrassed. I'm like, you could have asked 50 people on Simstagram, make me a better high school, and we'll put it in the fucking game. You would have had amazing submissions.
Yes.
Not the bullshit they give. Sorry, I clearly chose violence for this podcast today. I'm not this violence.
No, I get it 100%. And the cheerleading thing, it's, oh God, why are the animations so freaking creepy with
Yeah,
that
they're like,
as well? The way they like go down on the ground and like slither around like a snake and then get back up. I'm playing with this family at the moment in like my own personal gameplay, and there's like a dad, and he's a stereotypical like police officer. He's kind of got a bit of a beer belly going on and a big mustache, and
yeah.
it's stereotypical. I like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he went into the garden and started using the cheerleading thing. And when he went down on his belly and was like sliding around, I was like, I can't handle this. This is so freaking weird.
Ew. Why?
Oh, there's like a fat guy with a mustache pretending to be a snake. What is this?
See, that's why I have poses, right? So I have cheerleader poses. The cheerleader poses that I actually had to check this, that came out in 2018 are better than what EA put out this year.
Oh God. This is just it's the life motto of The Sims, like CC and modders do better, than the actual creators of the game.
Which makes me really excited for what they're now doing with the I can't actually remember what it's called.
Oh, the Overwolf.
That I've called it Lone Wolf. I've called it Moon Wolf. I've called I've called it Lone Star. Knew it wasn't that one after I said it out loud, but I literally just named it whatever because I was like, okay, cool. I'm very excited that what I'm actually hoping for with that is when EA says we have a patch update, that it doesn't actually ruin my week. Like that's what I'm the most excited for.
Yeah, I mean, I get excited for patches when it's got new content. Like I always love free content, that's fine. But I also then don't want to play the game for a good 3 or 4 days because I know I'm gonna go in and there's gonna be people looking half, white, half red, checkered skulls, and I just can't. I can't deal with that.
Prepares you for those trucker skulls, eh? The first time my God. When I first started doing this, I was a vanilla player. I was like, I'm not gonna use CC and bleh. And I remember being, and I said it in an interview, and looking back at it, I'm like, that's I was full of shit.
That's me. I'm that person as well. I up until like only maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I was adamant about not using CC. And then I would be on like Instagram and Twitter, and I see these like beautiful Sims, and they have these like amazing outfits and it's like amazing skin details. And I'm like, oh, my Sims look like hunks of cheese.
They for sure look like base game or normal game Sims. Well, for sure look like base of cheese. Like I was just saying to Rachel Peed, she was my morning Simmer spotlight, and we were talking. She's like, yeah, so like when I play, I like to add eyelashes. I was like, yeah, it's so weird that they don't just give us eyelashes in The Sims.
That CC was a massive like life-changing addition to my game. Like as soon as I figured out that I could put eyelashes on my Sims, I was like, I can't go back now.
Right?
Never going back.
But yet the Sims EA team give us like the shittiest nails you could possibly have.
Oh my God, yeah.
They're so ugly. No one has nails that like, no one has pointy tips to like that. You know what I mean? Like you could scratch your, eyeball from here with like, and they're just so pointy and gross. But again, have CC creators in the room when you start making the stuff, because how I look at it is whatever EA decides to put in the game or is new, CC content creators have been making that for about 5 to 10 years. So
yeah, definitely
get them, but credit them and then pay them for their time and service.
Yes, I agree.
I think that's very important. So with the new I think you said Overwolf. Is that
Yeah.
excellent? Because I was gonna call it Overwatch, and I was like, that's not it either. With Overwolf, I'm very excited to see that the EA is now welcoming these guys to the table, getting paid. When updates come, maybe our game won't have like checker things, or my person in the corner just looks like a naked mole rat because there's
Oh God,
literally
yeah.
nothing on them.
Yeah.
I have like freckles now that are CC. Like even I have eye freckles now that are CC. Eye freckles, because I'm like, if I'm like, I could use that. I'm the worst
My
when it comes to
mom
CC.
has eye freckles, so
Right?
that's like, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yes. Because like I'm now the biggest person when it comes to CC. I'm like, what if I need this in like a year and then it's gone? I'm just gonna download it.
That's it.
I spent 2 hours this morning downloading CC.
Oh, don't even talk to me. I literally like went into Ice Mun's like custom food and harvestables, their spreadsheet, because I'm cheap and I don't want to pay the money on Patreon. They're an amazing creator, like an amazing creator, but I literally spent like an hour downloading individually every single harvestable from Patreon this morning for about an hour and a half. So I feel your pain.
I got you. It's nice now that I get a lot of CC given to me for free by creators, because I'll show it in my story, or I'll make a video about it, or I'll talk about it on a podcast or something on the lines of that. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, just send it. I won't even need it, but just send it my way, because like a lot of my stuff I have is like clutter. Like, yeah. When the Sims Project Renee was announced, they announced cushions. So many people DM'd me, because for about a year and a half since I've been doing this podcast, I've been saying like, I just want cushions. Why do I have to download CC to have cushions? We can send someone to the fucking moon, but we can't put CC cushions without. I was literally the soapbox I've been standing on for the last like year and a half. So anyone who's still listening to me after that, I mean, awesome. I just bitch and complain. But I saw that everyone was like, oh my God, you got a message, like God messaged me. And I got so many. And I'm like, they're like, are you excited about Sims 5 having cushions? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? I watched this panel. I didn't see anything about Sims 5. And then I realized that what I thought was an update to the mobile game was actually them showing Sims 5, because they spent a long time on that mobile game. Now, I don't play free play. I will never play free play. The fact that they're like, yeah, we made them, better looking. You just gave them Botox. Now they don't have the hard, crazy lines, or the Sims Mobile, where they gave them balconies.
Yeah,
fucking balconies. I was like, wait, what? They didn't have them before?
I kind of feel like I feel really bad for people that play the mobile version of the game, because you're still spending money as well. It's like, just save up and buy the real thing.
Well, the rule of thumb is how is it easier to get $60? $1.60 transactions, or $60 at one time? Yeah, it's always going to be the $61 transactions, because you're like, oh, it's only $1.
Yeah, true.
I'm like, oh, it's only $2. Oh, it's nothing. And then you're like, oh my God. That's why I stopped playing all of those games on my phone.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I can't. And I hate the fact that when you're playing them and like there's an ad everywhere, and I've got clumsy fingers and I always click on the fucking ads, and I'm like, no, don't pay, no. Because my card is like linked to every single fucking account that I own.
Right? I'm like, no. So like before I really got into Sims, I played a lot of Covet. I think that's actually what it's called, like the COVET, like the dress up game. Like that was my shit. Every year around, like I would like play it for 3 months and then give up. And then I wasn't poor for a little while. So I was paying like $30 a month to play this game. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I realized that, and I was like, and now with the Sims, I'm like, how much money I pour into the Sims every month is like almost triple that at this point now. But I'm like, it's fine, because I actually enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm getting to enjoy talking to other people about what I'm doing. So I find it a little bit more better than spending $15 on $60,000 worth of digital clothes that I will never own. Never wear. So
those games are just like amazingly good at ripping off people, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you're playing with 5-year-olds that have no like own like are using mom and dad's credit card, they can beat it.
Oh my God, my cousin did that when he was like 4 or 5, like racked up something stupid, like well over $1,000 on like online transactions for one of those games. Just kept buying and buying and buying and buying. And oh my goodness, like I would smother that child if it was mine.
Yeah, I would have been like,
oh my goodness.
I'm not paying that. We are taking that out of your college tuition.
Yeah, taking this out of the rest of your life. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's not what kids do. For when we were kids, it was our texting bills, because I once had a phone bill that was $800.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know I couldn't text. I didn't know I didn't have data. No one told me. I just remember I was in math class in grade 9 and my BlackBerry could log on to Facebook. And I was like, oh my God. Now, little did I know I was being charged per minute.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. No one told me that. Oh, yeah. Oh, my parents were not happy with me with that. But I'm like, but you didn't have the conversation. I wouldn't have known that. So,
true. Do you remember when you could like buy ringtones?
Yes. Okay, so me and my fiance have been talking about this a lot. Remember that? And it would be like, I'm a Barbie girl and it'd be like Barbie 101. And it'd be like Crazy Frog. Yes. And like, yeah, and it would come on kind of later at night when the commercials when you were an adult. And it would be like 99 cents for 4 ringtones or something like that. And you'd be like, oh my God, that's so cheap. Yes. Or this is so funny. So Canada, we had these ads that would play at like midnight to 2 a.m. and it was for Quest. And that was basically phone sex, but they really portray it not as phone sex. It'd be like, they're like, my friends are going out to the bar tonight. No, I'm calling Quest. And I'll talk to hot local singles in my area. And it's a girl that like looks like Bella Goth in her red dress. Hi, I'm Stephanie and I'm your local single and I'd love to talk to you. And the description at the bottom is like $15.99 for every minute. And we're like,
oh my God.
So me and my fiance were just talking about that. And because we don't have cable at our house, because who the fuck has cable when you're under 35? Yeah. He went home and they played a Quest commercial. We hadn't seen one in like 15 years. And he's like, it's still so cringy.
It's the same woman from 15 years ago.
It's the same, yeah. She's like, still single, ready to
mingle. Granny, like, come on over, I'll give you a really good time.
Yeah, she's been spoken for, hi, doll. Looking for a good time. Dial 1. Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Right? And anyways, let's get back on Sims topics. This is fun. So before we switch over to your amazing builds, was there anything else about the Sim Summit that you wanted to talk about?
I think the only thing I want to say is that prior to the summit, I couldn't give a crap about babies. Really didn't care. Don't want cars, not interested. I saw the little baby crawling and I was like, oh, I want one.
That's so funny. I'm a believer. This is my thought on this. How can I already turn this off? How can I already turn off that setting? I don't want that. I'm so concerned of like babies crawling through the wall. Oh, I'm concerned of baby crawling up the fucking ceiling. No, this is my fear. And I hope I'm right. So I can like basically be like, I told you, EA, that I think they're gonna be using this like the pet code for them.
Oh my God.
So they're just gonna like, you just see your toddler just run away and it'd be like, Kaden has run away. It's like,
oh my God, that sounds like a really EA thing to do.
Right?
Oh God, they're gonna be like waggling their bums going up and down the stairs. Oh God.
Right.
No,
so that's the only thing I'm like really worried about. Again, I as a storyteller, so the story I tell actually doesn't use any really of the Sims like real life day-to-day stuff. It's all poses. I'm just basically using it as a medium to share my work because I can't afford to hire an animator. So that's what you get, guys. I would be like, I have so much anti-aging, and every time I play it, I turn off death because I just can't let anybody age or die. And I can't even imagine just having I can't remember just this beautiful scene. They're setting us up. Alexa and Oliver finally admit that they're in love with each other, which I can admit that now because this episode comes out after this chapter comes out. And they're just about to, you know, make out and be like, I've always loved you. I know I've always loved you. And you're Mr. Always been right there. And how I can finally fucking notice you. I've been here the whole time. And I noticed, and you see a fucking toddler crawling in the background. I will lose my shit. Okay? I will fucking lose my
I was just thinking, like, could you imagine like the stupid walk-bys as a baby crawling across the fucking street?
That's what I'm talking about, because this is what I'm concerned of. So we've set the stage. EA likes to release things that are unready and not done. So what the fuck's gonna happen with these packs that came out in like 2015? How are toddlers gonna react with that code? True. I'm just fucking curious, because I could just literally imagine a toddler just crawling on water.
Yeah,
because
I mean, stranger things have happened. Definitely. I've had some fucking weird glitches in my game.
Oh, the weirdest one I ever had was when hence me having to turn death off. She'd open the fridge and she'd catch fire. What? It was the weirdest glitch I'd ever seen. And it was, I don't know what it was, but every time she'd open the fridge, she'd catch fire. So this was like before I knew anything. And I would like throw my laptop lid down because I couldn't let her die, right? I couldn't save it. So I just I learned how to not feed my Sims with the cheat of just like satisfying needs. I got rid of every single pool, every single lake, every single barbecue, every single everything, because it just kept catching fire. And
oh my god.
And they're like, did you put like an EA ticket in? Yeah, I did. In June 2021, and I'm still waiting for that response. So I'm not going to hold my breath any longer. Just fucking saying. But like, that's the shit I'm concerned of, because like they keep fixing things, but when they fix things, it just breaks new things, and then they just fix it just like, I think it's just the QA team at The Sims just wanting to make sure they got a job the next day, so they're like, yeah, we'll fix this, but like this might happen, and the big upstairs like, we don't care, it's fine.
I mean, what can we expect from a game that when it was initially released, it was only available for PC? Like, I was a Mac player then, and I couldn't even play the game for like 6 months. It took so long for the Mac version to come out. So,
or there were no pools.
There was no toddlers.
No toddlers. Yeah, I like the baby child. But the problem I have now is you still have hashtag debug my baby, because it's still going to be debugged for the first like minute after it's born. And then it's going to shoot out, and then it's going to be a toddler moving. And then you have, infant.
An infant, yeah.
And then toddler, and then child, then teenager, then young adult, and then you die. I would love a middle stage between your 45 to 110. I would really much like that gap.
Yeah.
And I would love to see that seniors actually have a purpose in life besides knitting.
Oh my God.
And then dying.
I love elders, and they do not get enough love and attention.
No.
I love making elder Sims. I think they are the cutest fucking thing. From the neck up. From the neck down, they are fucking terrifying. Yeah,
they're just like
a really old face, and then like a smooth body.
Yeah. or like, yeah, exactly, because like I have a couple elders that I play with in my story, and I literally am like, oh, okay, that's creepy as hell. Why is your face wrinkly, but you have smoother arms than a teenager? Okay.
So weird. And like then they have that weird, like, I don't know what it's called, like that weird neck, stretchy neck.
You mean the gobble?
The gobble, yeah, that thing.
I know.
Just, like, disappears.
What is that? So now any elder I create, they're actually not elders. They're young adults, but I just make them look elder. I add the old to them. So I can actually make them look old instead of it being like, oh, cool. So I made this elder. Yeah. So they're going to die tomorrow. And I'm like, wait, what? I just made them. Like I literally have just placed them on the slot and I'm already getting, oh, you shall prepare for their final stages. And I'm like, I haven't even pressed play. How can I prepare for this?
So true. They need more love. I'm holding out for an update on elders. Forget the baby update. I want elders update.
Fuck, right? Where's my hashtag playable elders? We're gonna make this hashtag real, okay? Hashtag playable elders, everyone.
Love it. Love it.
Anyways, let's talk about your builds because they're amazing. And I want to hear, of course, I want to hear how you start a build from start to finish.
So I struggle with building anything that's not a bungalow. I'm gonna put that out there now. If you haven't seen my stuff, it's all bungalows. Like I don't generally build 2-story homes because I'm lazy and I hate furnishing.
Yo, there's some sim creators out there. Like I'm very good friends with Juby Sims, and she's amazing. She's amazing.
Builds.
She builds these castles. So she'll do a castle in like a day. Like what she does, that's in a day. If it was a day for me, I would have had 6 mental breakdowns and maybe placed one wall.
Yes. I've done like one room filled with clutter and then like, I'm done. I can't do anymore. I have to wait till tomorrow. Right? Honestly, my builds are just full of clutter. Like I love clutter. Give me all the clutter.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like my process is I'll sort of like look on Pinterest or like Google or like even films and TVs and I'll be like, I'm gonna build that for Sims, and then I get to do it and it looks nothing like what I pictured the build to be, but it turns out all right. I'm gonna put it up on Facebook or whatever, Instagram. It's fine. Add a filter, add reshade, everything that's good with reshade. So it'll be grand.
I right now my computer only has like 20 gigs of free at all times. So
same.
Oh yeah. So I every time I try to use reshades, my computer's like, nah, we're good. And it just like crashes. And I'm like, so sometimes I'll make this beautiful build and I'm like, it would look so much better with G shades or reshades. But I'm like, I can't because I have 10,000 bits of CC and I'm not one of the ones that like organizes it like a psychopath, being like the month down to the day you did it, down to if it's a pose, a clutter, a food, a hair, and then into that, who made it. Yeah, it's literally.
I have so much respect for people that do that, but I
have it all in my bin file. Whatever the fuck the mod is, it's all in there. And when something breaks, I roll the dice every time I download CC. I'm like, I'll be fine. And then once in a while, it's usually from the Sims resources. Anytime I download anything from there, it's like, yeah, I can't download a corrupt file. And I'm like, fuck. Ugh, annoying. And then I'll just type out, I'm like, okay, just delete. And then I'm like, okay, I guess this is fine now. But no, I'm a huge Pinterest girl and Simdom. I like Simdom when it comes to stuff, and Fanspot when it comes to finding CC and poses and stuff. How about you? Like, what are your favorite places to find CC?
Probably I just rely on Patreon and Twitter. Like if someone posts something that looks pretty, I'll be like, oh, where did you get this? Where did you get that? I like Pinterest as well, but mostly just for build inspiration. I think I kind of find like with Pinterest the same shit comes up all the time and I'm like, I've already seen this, so I'm not actually getting any new content. Tumblr is good. I like Tumblr for CC. I don't actually download any build CC. I only do cast CC because I feel like with my builds I put everything on the gallery, so I want that to be
you want that to be but you want your sim to actually look like a human being.
Gotta be pretty. I like my sims pretty. I don't share my sims, but I share the builds, but I like my sims living in the houses to be pretty.
Okay, so I got you.
So I I've never heard of FanSpot. What's that?
So FanSpot, so if you Google, so it's a lot for if you're looking for something very specific. So it'll be like best tiaras, Sims 4 CC. And it's a website, and you go and it will say like top 10 crowns, all free. And you go and it's literally an article that finds you the best 10 crowns, and you just have to click the link and download it. I use that shit for everything. I was on there this morning because I was looking for royal poses. And I was like, best royal poses, Sims 4 CC poses. And it gave me everything. And I was like, excellent. Instead of me taking 3 hours to find this, it took about 5 minutes, and I grabbed everything I needed, and I'm good to go. Because as we discussed, I grabbed things I actually don't currently need, but hopes to one day need them. So yeah, no, I was like, because I think it's ridiculous that we have to have CC to have a tiara in the game, or a crown.
Yeah, why have they not included the crown from high school years? Why is that not in?
I thought the same thing, because I was like, oh my god, perfect. I don't need to fucking find these crowns, because you got to make sure the crown goes with the hair. Yeah, the crown doesn't always go with the hair. Sometimes the crown's fucking like 6 feet above the head, because they expect the hair to be 6 feet above your head.
Oh god,
right?
the hat accessory in The Sims 4 is fucking awful anyway. Oh god.
Oh yeah, I only have hats. If I use a hat, it's CC, because they actually know how to use it correctly.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is something, this is something. But why is there no tiaras? And I didn't even realize it for the longest time, that there were no tiaras, until I went looking for one. And I'm like,
that's so weird.
I feel like, this would be like something that, like people would want.
Yeah.
Why are you giving me the worst fucking leggings of all time that nobody uses? But yet I can't get a tiara. Hashtag where's my tiara, right? Like, it's
why is there a microphone around the ear but there's no tiara?
yeah. Why do I have like a Bluetooth, I'm a PA on a movie set? Because it comes from Get Famous,
the fucking
right?
like Shakespeare hat with the feather sticking out of it, but we can't get a tiara.
I can have Shakespeare, but I can't have fucking Romeo and Juliet. Get the fuck out of here. No, I got you. But I wish I didn't have as much CC for my builds now. I kind of went a little overboard, and I can't not have it anymore, because
yeah, that's my fear. That is my fear, that I'm going to download something and be like, oh my god, this has changed my life, and then I can't be without it. But yeah, I'm worried about that.
For me, it's food clutter, because like I want to have food that I don't want to eat, because I'm like, I did this really big last year, like Thanksgiving dinner table, and I had a turkey and the mashed potatoes and the stuffing and the carrots and all the shit that goes with it. But it was all CC. None of it was real. It was all sculptures.
Yeah.
But I wanted that realism in the game, because I stopped building for the community about a year ago. I build for me now. And if I want to build it for, like, I did a whole collection at Valentine's Day, like Valentine's themed bedroom, Valentine's themed living room, Valentine's themed bathroom, Valentine's themed garden and stuff. And it was all CC. And the only thing I don't like about CC stuff, and correct me if I'm wrong, when it's in English, I don't like that. So like when you see like a painting, it's like live, laugh, and love.
No,
I'm like,
it's gotta be Simlish. Yeah, no,
it's gotta be Simlish. They don't speak English.
I'm exactly the same.
Now I get it for me, who's using it to be more of like, I'm just using this as a medium to tell the story, so they do speak English. I get that, but I don't need that in my game.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just kind of more stuff like that, where I'm like, Or when they're reading Twilight, because you can get the poses where they're reading actual books. They're reading Breaking Dawn, that comes in that one, and Harry Potter 5. Not in the other Harry Potters, Harry Potter 5. I just recognize that one the most, because it's the one with the Phoenix. And I'm just like, yeah, but like, what about 7? What about 1? 5? Okay. Clearly this is this person's favorite Harry Potter book, but like, sup with the rest of them? What if I don't like 5? But
yeah,
anyways,
that's a good point.
Right. But anyways, my advice to you is stay away from build CC for as long as you can, because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
will get obsessed.
I'm really trying not to like get drawn into it, but I'm a bit worried about the modders and the over wolf thing as well. Like I'm hoping that the work that they make matches in with the game.
Yeah, that it's not
This,
alpha.
yeah, like I can't stand, that's the one thing that really pissed me off about The Sims 3 was that you could download all this amazing custom content for The Sims 3,
Mhm.
and then your sim would be walking around looking like this fucking princess, and then everyone else would be little goblins walking around beside them because they were all fuck ugly.
Right?
I couldn't handle that in my game now. If I had like, I mean, towny fashion is bad enough. I couldn't have two different styles of content in my game. I would literally lose my mind.
Oh my god, yes, that's actually so funny, because like even now, like I don't use anything alpha because I don't give a fuck to find the actual mesh that goes with it, nor do I have to find the mesh every single time the game updates.
Yeah,
No, no, no. So I
yeah,
only
I
do
couldn't do
max's
that.
match, and even sitting to that, I'm like, okay, well, all my townies now have the Sailor Moon scepter and the flower that goes on her bun when she gets married. But okay, I see what you're
Oh
doing.
god,
I see what you're
I
doing here, EA. You're punishing me.
I downloaded a pair of like really high boots,
Yeah.
and I don't even know why I need. It's one of those things where it's like, I'll download it. It looks nice, and
Yeah.
then you kind of like forget that you might not put this pair of boots on your sim, but some fucking townie is gonna wear them. And I
Oh, yeah.
went in my game earlier, and there was like this teenage boy who was wearing like a blue blazer, like tiny little cream shorts, and then these fucking massive pink boots. And I'm like, done. I'm done.
Yes. Yes. Or when the CC's broken, but the game doesn't know it's broken. So I have this warrior costume. It's for women, but I didn't realize when I downloaded it, you had to get the pants separately. So it's just the armor and like a basically nothing below, like nothing. Like I'm talking not underwear. I'm
Oh my
talking what
god.
I'm imagine what a Ken and Barbie doll look like as a sim.
Yeah.
So it threw the shit out of me the first time. I was like, oh fuck, whatever. I download so much DC, I can't do this. There's one townie that's always wearing it. And it's whenever I'm shooting something, you see him walking by and you just see a bare ass. And I'm just like, oh God. And I don't know what it's called, so I can't get rid of it because I have
Oh
so much
no.
CC. But whatever. Photoshop, baby. Blend you out. You just don't exist anymore. Healing
Oh
patch you.
god.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Laura, I got a couple more questions for you. I'm
Mhm.
gonna let you go. So you're a very good build, you're a very amazing builder, and you're also on YouTube. Talk to me about your YouTube channel.
So my YouTube channel is basically Laursimming. So just youtube.com/Laursimming.
Mhm.
I at the moment only have build videos up, speed builds. I also have a couple of tutorials showing how to like better clutter different parts of your houses, so like bathrooms or backyards or whatever, kitchens. Also a couple of tutorials showing how to use the tool mod. Like, I love the tool mod. I'm a huge advocate for the tool mod. I cannot build without it now. I'm planning to do more sort of real-time builds.
Okay.
I'm really inspired by Devin Bumpkin. He's like one of my favorite creators. I find him fucking hilarious. And I love his Let's Build the World series. So I want to do something like that. But I'm like shit scared about putting my face out there on videos, because all my videos like it's either voiceover or music. So doing like a face cam video is my next kind of goal. I have like recorded an apartment build slow time, real time. But I was a bit tipsy when I did it, and I accidentally took the piss out of ASMR, and I kind of feel like I shouldn't put that out there in the universe.
Now, correct for anybody who's listening. When you say tipsy, do you mean slightly drunk? I just want to make sure that this is the correct British slang.
I was blind drunk.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Because they're like a tad tipsy. I'm like, wait. Is this British slang for something else?
I was on the floor on all fours, drunk.
Oh my God. Well, I can say this because I've done like 87 podcasts now with my face, and I have like 200 YouTube videos, but most of them are just my podcast. It's hard to rip the band-aid off at first because then you're opening yourself to criticisms on how you look.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you have to realize that you're a fucking amazing, confident queen, and it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks of what you say or do because you're confident on the inside. I have
True.
trolls come for me all the time. I should take my glasses off. I don't look, I should wear makeup because I don't wear makeup while doing these things unless I'm going somewhere after. I should get my teeth fixed. I have an annoying voice. I should fill my eyebrows in more often.
Oh my God, that's just fucking ridiculous.
Right? But now at the beginning, I was like, well, they suck. And just kept going. Cause like, I'm like, well, I gotta show my face because as I say, I have the face for radio. So at this point, I'm just a clown making jokes and I make poop jokes and I'm okay with it now. But for somebody who was maybe a little bit more subconscious and a little nervous, like those comments can tear you down. People just don't realize that I'm a psychopath. So your comments don't do anything for me because I don't know who you are. So, but yeah, when you're ready, if you want any like tips and tricks, like when you're ready, like let me know. I'm more than happy to
definitely
help you out just because I've had everything thrown at me. I can't throw anything else more. And they're
been around the block a few times.
Been around. I remember like my first whole podcast, I was like, okay, guys. So like you guys said I should like put makeup on. So I put eyelashes on today. So like I hope you guys like super notice. Okay, cool. So here's my video and here's everything we're gonna be talking about. And oh my God, yay. Now I'm like, okay. So hi guys, Stoss. Welcome back. Got a guess. They're awesome. We're gonna talk about poop for like 98% of this. So I'll put fucking time clocks at the bottom when you want to hear actually what they have to say. But again, it comes with confidence, right? So
yeah, I feel like I just need to get the first one done and then it'll get easier. So
yes,
that's the plan.
The first one is always the hardest because you're the most crucial on yourself.
Yeah.
And then the second is not as hard. And then the 20th, it's just second nature at this point. And when you get to the 100th, you're like, oh yeah, I was scared to show my face. But honestly, a lot of people don't like to show their face on especially these podcasts or just anything in general. I totally get it. Like my personal accounts, like my personal like Instagrams, they are so locked behind lock and key that you can't find me personally. You can find me here. Because I was nervous when I rebranded this year for the podcast that I changed my main Stassi profile to like a picture of my face instead of my Sims. And then I'm like, it's fine. Like, I mean, I want to do this podcast. I want to continue to do this podcast. So it's not like a face reveal. People have seen my face now for a while. So now you're like, who? They're like, Stassi J. Like, oh, that's her. You look different now because in that photo I have dark hair. I have like really dark hair up here.
Okay.
And now my hair is light. And they're like, you look different. And I'm like, it's because I am different. That photo was taken in April and it's now October. So.
Oh my God, my personal Instagram, I've not uploaded a picture of me since like 2020.
I got you. We just got new engagement shoots taken like a couple months ago, and I haven't updated my profile picture from the last one just because I still look really skinny in those ones, and I look hot. Not that I don't look hot.
This is before I became best friends with my fucking fridge.
Right? Didn't you guys remember there was a pandemic and you could eat and there was no regret
and there was nothing else to do and just eat and eat and eat. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my! I ate everything. I gained 25 pounds through COVID. I've lost most of it now. I've been doing low carb / keto since July. I've lost at least 23 pounds since then.
That's amazing.
Thank you. It's a lot of work. It's hard. You can tell when I came back from my like season one, like part one of the season. I was like, hey guys, so I gotta go because it's like my eating time because I'm on keto and I only get to eat like twice a day and I just really need some food. Okay, thanks, bye guys. And I'd be like, okay, so when does this, like, I need and the boss like, what's this? When does it come out? I'm like, oh, I said to you, it's fine. But anyways, whenever you're ready to reveal your face, it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be so welcoming because everyone in the Sims community is absolutely welcoming. The trolls that have come and attacked me are not from the Sims community; they are just dicks. So
yeah, true.
yes. Anyways, Laura, I want to say it's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything exciting that you want to work on now? I didn't tell you when this podcast is. So this comes out like the first week of the new year. So between now and then, is there anything that you're currently working on that you're excited to share?
So I am working on a save file with Cast Me If You Can, my friend Carrie.
Nice.
And it's called the snail file because we are ridiculously slow at getting this sorted. So it probably will take us till the end of next year to get it finished, but we are slowly working our way through it. So that's probably like my main project that I'm working on long term. But other than that, it's just keep on like slogging away at YouTube, getting the subscribers, and you know, working towards the dream goal, which is getting paid to play The Sims. You know what I mean?
Laura, we got the same wishes.
That's the goal, isn't it? So
isn't it? I swear to God, like I would shit my pants if they're like, we want to pay you. I know Business Daddy EA will never sponsor me because if you've listened to this podcast, I might not be the image that they're searching for, but I hope to one day like maybe work a job or career that like I could be like a host of something or something on the lines
that
of
would
it,
be cool.
but can't say fuck. So that's awkward. But anyways, Laura, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Why don't you tell everybody where we can find your amazing work? Like, what are your socials?
So my socials are Laursimming across YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and occasionally Twitch, but don't go there first.
That's actually so funny. So my January roundtable is going to be for Sim Twitch people, because that's just one form of gaming that I can't actually wrap my mind around.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out, like how it's done. So I want to have the best of the best literally explain it to me as a newbie, because I feel like a lot of people are a little nervous of Twitch because they don't maybe fully understand everything that goes with it. There's
a lot of mechanics with like emotes and the little things that flash up on the screen when you subscribe or whatever. It's definitely a mission to get set up on Twitch. I've streamed like a couple of times and it's fun, but for me personally, the hours leading up to it were fucking horrifically nerve-wracking.
Because you're sitting there like, okay, so like what if a tech problem happens? Like the best things with these podcasts are filmed months in advance. I mean, I don't really edit them, but if I had to, that's not live, right? Like you're live. It's a difference of when you're confident being like, okay, well, I can just say and do whatever I so truly fit to do. But if it's live, you're like, okay, guys, so, oh, fuck, there's a crash.
That's it. Yeah.
So the weather where you are, is it good?
Yeah, you've got to be good at small talk, which I just struggle with sometimes.
Right? Or I would just be like, oh, fuck me. Or just something. I'm like, sorry to the children watching, but that's on you for watching me. So
yeah, true.
Anyways, Laura, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming here today. Please go follow my girl. The links are going to be below. You are welcome back here anytime. I had so much fun. I feel like we had a really fun banter.
That was great. It was really fun.
Well, thank you again. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to see when your snail build comes out next. Sorry, your snail save file comes out next year. Okay. Well, have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.